This is the afternoon. It's coming up to 4 o'clock on the 31st. Again, happy Halloween. And tell your kids not to consume what they're collecting and have them give you everything they collect and just throw it out and buy them new. I hope this is true. A clip put up by David Packman show. And this clip title is, "They're sure Trump has only days to live." Well, what did I say? I said he's not going to make Christmas. This plays for 7 minutes and 5 seconds, so let's see what David Packman has to say about this.
All right, there is a growing internet movement that is convinced that Trump is about to die. And I want to talk about it because they are missing a few critical details. Let me big picture it for you first. If you look on TikTok, if you look on Instagram, if you look on Reddit, you see videos like, "I think it might happen today," or "He only has 3 months left." And this is people, they don't say it, I think, for like algorithmic reasons. If you actually talk about people dying, some of these platforms will suppress the content. But the implication is Trump has very little time left. Now, I do understand the underlying reasoning here. Trump's 79. Life expectancy at birth when Trump was born was only 64 years old. Trump's not healthy. He's almost 80. He's obese. He doesn't exercise. His diet is filled with fast food. But there is something that people are not understanding, which is that once you make it to age 79 in 2025, if you're a wealthy person, and Trump is, you are expected to live 8 to 9 more years. Now, you might say, David, but that doesn't really make sense. When Trump was born in 1946, males in the US were expected to live 64 years. And now you're telling me Trump's 79 and likely to live to 87 or 88? Yes, exactly. And let's go through it in a few pieces. According to the Social Security Administration's actuarial tables, the life expectancy for a 79-year-old male is 8 years and change. Average remaining lifetime. That's the mean of people who are currently that age. It's not a guarantee, but the tables say Trump should live 8 to 9 more years. Now, it could be more, could be less, depending on genetics, lifestyle, risk factors. We'll get back to that. But the key there is once you make it to age 79, you've already survived a lot of the high-risk years. You've survived not making it to 1 year of age. You've survived not making it to 5. You've survived, in Trump's case, you survived the years during which you might have to go and deploy to a war, although Donald Trump got a letter about his ankles and didn't end up going.
It wasn't his ankles, David. It was his bone spurs. And what you're sort of missing is that how many people his age drink 12 to 14 cans of soda a day? How many people his age eat hamburgers and Colonel Sanders fried chicken as their main diet? So those two factors by themselves are dramatically going to shorten his lifespan. And he doesn't exercise. He's just a big fat slob. So I think you're making a mistake. He's not going to make it to no 89.
This is an example of how a statistic can be accurate, but it can be misleading. And you have to make sure you're measuring the right thing. I have a really, I think, salient example of this. Imagine you put Bill Gates in a room with 9 broke people. The mean net worth in that room is $10 billion per person. But there are 9 people worth 0 and Bill Gates worth 100 billion. In that situation, the mean is not a useful statistic. The median might be more useful and representative. So similarly, life expectancy at birth in
I don't know anyone that's close to his age that has a diet like he has, doesn't exercise, drinks soda like there's no tomorrow, and lives for a ripe old age. I still say he's not going to make it to Christmas.
46 measures the average age of death if you were born in a given year, including infant mortality, including child mortality. Once you get to life expectancy at age 25, for those born in 1946, You've removed infant mortality. You've removed the Vietnam year.
You know, it's amazing. This guy's got 3.37 million subscribers. I mean, 3.37. He probably gets a check for a couple of $100,000 every month.
There's all of that stuff. Once you've made it to 79, you've avoided a lot of the reasons sometimes people die before that. One other important concept here is that of super agers. These are people who, for genetic reasons, no matter their diet or lifestyle, they just kind of keep living relatively well until very late in age. There's a super fast decline and then they die. The exact explanation isn't totally well understood at this point, but the idea is there's a genetic basis for it. And Trump might, despite terrible lifestyle factors, live to his late 80s more or less as he is right now, despite the cankles, despite the obesity, despite all of it. Now, let me talk about the politics of it. There are right-wingers convinced this is just about Trump. Left-wingers are being so mean. You hate so much, you're waiting for him to die. It's not really partisan. You know, there was a Death Watch corner of the internet for Queen Elizabeth. There was one for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. MAGAs have had one for Joe Biden for a really long time. One of the funny things about the Trump Death Watch is that there are people who have been saying he has only months to live for years now, and Trump keeps outliving those expectations. So final thing I want to go back to. Wealth is a major factor. When you have unlimited health care, private chefs.
He doesn't need wealth as president. He has all of that, David. Okay, come on, stop it.
A team of doctors monitoring every heartbeat.
He has all of that.
Your odds of seeing 90 go way up. The social determinants of health are massive here. And if history has taught us anything, it's that Trump is good at outlasting people who think he's done. It happened legally. This is it. Trump's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. No, he's not. It happened politically with people saying Trump's one term is it, and then he got another term. And also for Trump's health. So the people that are out there convinced Trump has days to live, I don't know that the data really supports what you're saying. We've got a phenomenal bonus show for you today.
Our eyes support what we're saying. The guy doesn't even know where he is. His mind is gone and his body's gone, David Packman.
The Republican Party has another Nazi text problem. We'll talk about this really wacky Kash Patel Diwali post rife with racism. And the government shutdown is now the second longest. How long will it go? All of those stories and more on today's bonus show. Don't miss it.
Hey, did you see the clip that I did with cross-eyed Kash Patel? He's got a good-looking 26-year-old girlfriend. You have to ask yourself a question. What the F is wrong with her? I guess she's just looking for a little bit of glory, wants to get right in the limelight. I mean, could you imagine sleeping with that cross-eyed freak? And again, she's a good-looking woman. I think David Packman's got his head up his ass. I still say he's not going to make Christmas. I guess we'll see, won't we?